Hello, everyone. My name is Carla Solorzano. I'm the email marketing coordinator at Meetup, and welcome to another Meetup Live event. Today, we're joined by special guest Danielle Aubrey Smith, CEO of Wild Bloom Health, and Elizabeth Rose, event coordinator at Wild Bloom Health, for a guided meditation experience. You'll learn sonic strategies for getting in the zone, feeling at ease, and unlocking your happiness. Before we begin, we are just going to share a few slides with the agenda and event guidelines. So this event will be recorded. You will not appear in the video. We have a mute courtesy, so your audio will be muted during the event. If you have any questions, just submit them in the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. And closed caption is available. To turn it on, click on the live transcription icon at the bottom of your screen and select your preference. So the agenda for today, a 5-minute introduction, then we'll do the guided meditation, and then we'll have 10 minutes at the end for Q&A. So a little intro about our panelists. Danielle Aubrey Smith, entrepreneur, sex and relationship coach, and facilitator, desires to create a safe environment for others to show up fully as they are. Danielle aims to create spaces for you to feel seen, loved, and cared for. Her intention in all that she does is for you to experience your most liberated self. When you feel safe to be yourself, that is where the healing begins. Danielle and her team specialize in creating an environment of healing through sound, meditation, and intention. Elizabeth Rose is the founder of the Adaptist, host of the Adaptist podcast, and the event coordinator of Wild Bloom. Elizabeth is passionate about holding space for you to recognize your own brilliance, intuition, and gifts while expanding into the most authentic version of you. As a space holder, she loves to facilitate containers and experiences that bring you back home to yourself. And now I'll let you guys take it away.
Thank you so much, Carla, for the intro, and thank you, Meetup, for having us. We are so honored and thrilled to be here with you today and to have a little break in our day, whether it's the end of the day or the beginning of the day. For some of you that aren't in the US, just thank you for tuning in. And before we get started, my name is Danielle. I am the CEO of Wild Bloom, and we are all about creating safe places really to connect more deeply with yourself and then being able to connect with community. So we do have an online community and in-person community here in Austin, Texas. And before I hand it off to Elizabeth, it may be a good time to grab some water, grab a journal, maybe grab a cushion or a yoga mat. And if you don't have something comfortable on, please do that before we kind of get into a little bit of movement, meditation, and a little bit of sound as well.
All right. So yeah, while you guys are just getting comfortable and dropping into the space, I'm just going to share a little bit about what we're going to be moving through so that you know what to expect. So Danielle is going to lead you through a meditation experience that is intended to connect you to your highest expression of yourself. Some people, connect with the higher self. So if you're familiar with that word or that term, she's going to be guiding you to connect with your higher self. Another way to think of it is just your most authentic self, who you are beyond what the world tells you you are, who you are when you tune into your heart, when you tune into your body. So she's going to be leading you through that. And before she gets into that, I'm going to be supporting you in clearing anything in your field, in your energetic field, any blockages, anything that you've been carrying with you, whether it's a past experience or some sort of worry about the future or anything that's in your field that is obstructing that connection. We're going to release that here and now and really get into the body and ground so that you can fully receive the transmission that Danielle has for you. Okay, so before we do that, I'm going to put on some music and we're really going to get into the body. But I want to just introduce the breath that we're going to be doing so that when the time comes to do that, you know what we're doing. So we're going to be breathing in a way that is intended to tone the nervous system. And so the way that it's going to sound is you're going to breathe in through your nose. And then you're going to exhale with an audible exhale. Ha. So you're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale. Ha. And so when we do this, we're actually letting the nervous system know that it's safe. So this is a breath that you can do whenever you feel like you need to ground, whenever you feel like you need to center yourself. And it really just lets your body know that you're present, that you're here. And the ways that we clear energy are through breath, sound, and movement. Those are the top ways to clear out energy that's been stored in our bodies. So we're going to be combining all of those things. And that's kind of going to be the breath that anchors us. So at a certain point, we'll add in some arm movements, and then we're going to move into some alternate nostril breathing. So that's going to be the second breath. And I will guide you through all of this, but I just wanted to preface it before we dive in. So if you're not familiar with alternate nostril breathing, you're basically just going to take your thumb and your middle and your ring finger, and you can kind of tuck your pointer finger down. And so you're going to use your thumb to block off your right nostril, and you're just going to inhale through your left nostril. Hold it just for a second at the top, and then you're going to block off your left nostril, and you're going to exhale out your right. So then you're going to inhale through your right nostril. Block off your right nostril, and then you're going to exhale out the left nostril. And then you're going to inhale through the left. Block off your left nostril and exhale out the right. So that breath we're going to close with, and that's what's going to lead you into the meditation. And that breath work really helps to bring balance to both hemispheres of the brain, which also lets the body know it's safe to relax, it's safe to let go, it's safe to be present. And that's essentially going to prime you to receive the meditation that Danielle will lead you through. Okay, so I'm going to share my audio. And you're going to want to stand up if you have the space to do that. If for some reason you're not in a space where you can move and shake and get into your body, then I just invite you to do the breath. And if you're for any reason in a space where you can't make that audible exhale, then you can just do deep inhales through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And for everyone else, I invite you to get as loud and as big as possible, because we're really going to be intentionally clearing out anything that that you've been holding on to. So how is the sound? I think we have it in a good spot. Okay. All right. So just start to shake out your arms. You can shake out your legs a little bit. And just giving yourself permission, setting the intention that anything that's no longer serving you, letting it go right here, right now. And then we're going to start with that breath. So you're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Ha. Again, inhale. Exhale. Ha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going with that breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just keep moving with that breath. And I invite you to get as loud as you want to. Really like letting something go every time you exhale. Letting that intention. And then we're gonna add in the arms. So you're gonna take your arms overhead with the inhale. And then you're gonna squeeze your arms by your side, exhale. So inhale your arms overhead, and then you're gonna exhale. So every time that you sweep your arms down by your side, you exhale, and this is you sweeping out your energetic field. So you can literally imagine any density, any toxicity, anything that you picked up from the outside world, you are literally clearing it from your field and sending it out and away from you. So with those arm sweeps and your breath, you're just gonna push it away. And you can pick up the speed if you want to. Two more like that. Okay, inhale your arms up overhead. Hold your breath at the top. Hold your breath. Keep your arms up overhead. This is recalibrating your nervous system. And then exhale. Bring your arms to your side. And then just take your hands to your heart center. Keeping your eyes closed. And just feeling yourself rooted, connected to this moment, feeling the shift from before that movement till now. And just taking a minute to arrive fully into this space. Arriving into your body, feeling your feet firmly planted on the ground. I want you to imagine roots growing down from the bottom of your feet, down deep into the earth, planting you to this present moment, anchoring you to this present moment. Feeling how supported you are, how loved you are. Letting your system know that it's safe to surrender into this experience and to just receive. Maybe telling yourself, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to take time to show up for yourself. Just acknowledging yourself for being here and for giving yourself this time. And then when you're ready, you can find a seat. So finding a seated position. And we're gonna move into that alternate nostril breathing. So finding your thumb and covering your right nostril. We're gonna start on the left side and we're gonna come through the left it at the top. Cover your left nostril and exhale out the right nostril. And then inhale through the right nostril. Hold it at the top. Take your thumb and cover your right nostril. And then exhale out the left nostril. So just continuing with this breath pattern at your own pace. And as you do this, just letting yourself drop in deeper and deeper to this experience. Feeling your system begin to self-regulate. Feeling your body begin to relax. One more minute with this breath. Finally, beginning to see the activation of meditation. System to reset itself. So wherever you are, just find your way to an exhale out the left nostril. Then once you've finished with an exhale out the left nostril, you can just go ahead and find a comfortable position. That can be seated or laying down. And we're going to transition. This is now a time for you to just receive the sounds, receive the meditation, and just let go.
So let's continue breathing deeply, being conscious of the breath coming in and the breath coming out. Like Elizabeth had said, getting into a comfortable place to receive the sound, the vibration, the frequency of this bowl is to open our hearts. So if you're in a sitting position, I want you to be able to have your heart forward, your shoulders back. If you're laying down, just be conscious of receiving, allowing for the opening. receiving. Keep opening. Keeping your eyes closed, we're going to start the meditation. Keeping this present moment. Continuing those deep breaths. Bringing all of your awareness to this moment. Knowing that you are called to this for a reason. And there's a message here for you. Letting go of all of the energy from the day, maybe from the week, from the weekend. Just letting it go. Feeling your body ground to the floor, to the chair, to the cushion. With each breath, feeling your roots going deeper into the ground, going through the different layers of the earth, and then breathing that back up into your root, your lower chakras, and then breathing it all the way to your crown on the top of your head. And as you are continuing that breath, I want you to envision a beam of light surrounding you, encompassing your very being. And in this light, only love can enter, and only love can exit. Breathe into that light. Each breath that you have, see that light expand beyond you, maybe into the room around you, wherever you may be. That light of love. Feeling that beam of light going up and down your spine, reminding you who you are, reminding you of the power that you carry, reminding you of the peace that's accessible at any moment you desire. Feeling that light infiltrate every cell in your body, even into your DNA. Envisioning it washing through arms, or legs, feet, head, hands. This light is now you. This light is what's deeply connected with the divine within you. Now feeling yourself letting go even more, softening your jaw, maybe your forehead, maybe your arms, legs, softening your entire being. Now, as you're in this moment, I want you to picture your higher self stepping into this light, becoming one with you. Look into the highest version of yourself. Feel their essence, the energy they have, the confidence they have, the love they have. This is you, and you are them. Breathe that in right now. Breathe them in to your lungs. Fully connected. So wise. The most authentic, loving version of you. Can you see them? Can you feel them? Now, as you have become one, I want you to visualize unzipping them almost like you're unzipping a coat. Now, as you have unzipped them completely, this highest version of you, I want you to step in to them, pulling the sleeves over your arms, this higher version, stepping your legs into their legs, your heart into their heart, mind into their mind. Now, feeling that feeling of oneness. Feeling the connection. You can come here anytime you want. The highest version of yourself is always accessible to you. It's always here. Now feeling that highest version of you, I want you in your mind's eye to look around and see what your surroundings look like. How does it smell? How does it feel? What are the sensations of this highest version of you? And when you wake up in the morning, what does it look like around you? What does your house look like? What do you eat for breakfast? Who do you hang out with? Who are your friends? What is your job? What do you do for fun? You have to think about yourself. Thoughts go on. Because this version of you knows where you've been, where you are going, and where you are now. Knowing you have access to everything that you desire. Knowing that you have access to every dream that's in your heart. you can manifest. It's all here. This is the highest frequency of love. This is who you are. Stay here for a couple of moments and ask this highest version of you if they have any messages for you. If they want to say anything, encourage you, direction. They want to iterate what you're capable of, who you are, and all of the conditioning and limiting beliefs are out there. Who you are separate from what you do. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to connect. If you feel called, you can write it in your notes section on your phone or your journal. This message that may come through for you. Like some of you be activated with some new dreams, right? That's businesses, new career paths. We want to remind you that the dreams that were implanted in you as a young child are still relevant today. Sometimes we just have to give ourselves permission to trust more deeply in our knowing, in our intuition. Trust that the divine, that God, the universe is supporting you every step. Right? I want to remind you that you are fully seen. You are not alone. Continue to stay in this place, journaling, connecting, for as long as you need to. But if you're ready to come back, I want to start feeling your fingers, your toes, deepening your breath, feeling the expansion in your abdomen as you inhale and the contraction as you exhale. I want you to place your hand on your heart, your right hand on your stomach. I want you to send gratitude to yourself for being here, for showing up. shooting that light that we just cultivated out each heart that's here. Reassurance that we're in this together, not alone. Breath. Open your eyes. I know some of you may feel new thoughts, ideas, inspirations coming through the next couple of hours, maybe even some dreams coming through for some of you guys tonight, because we did activate certain areas within ourselves that bring in a higher vibration, a higher frequency. So I want you to just bring this new awareness to your day. And even before you go to bed, maybe put a journal next to your bed with the intention and setting that forth that you'll be getting dreams that will give direction for the next part of maybe your journey. And I know Elizabeth and I were sharing earlier, just the energy right now is kind of that spring cleaning energy where you can't even hold on to things that aren't meant for you anymore. So I just want to remind you to surrender to what is before you and to trust that everything you need is already here. And if it's not here in your visual, it's coming. And so to let go of control and force and lean into what's accessible, which is ease and grace and surrender. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being with us here. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us through Wild Bloom. I know they do have some links in there as far as some events we have coming up that is online. And we do also offer support through coaching. So if you do feel like you could use some more support in this season, we're here for that as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we have a few offers just for you guys. So there's a free ebook that Danielle created. If you would like to have access to that, I think we sent the link out to Emily, so she'll probably be sending that to you. And that's just 5 ways to connect with yourself, reconnect with yourself. And then we're doing a special event just for this group in May. So if you're interested in going a little bit deeper and having more of like a workshop style, where you'll leave with more practical tools that you can utilize to really, just learn to listen to yourself more, trust your intuition more, stay connected to your heart, and using these things to really support you on your journey, then we're going to be working with that in that event. So those are 2 options that we wanted to give you guys if that is something that you feel called to. And I think that's all we have. If you guys want to open up the Q&A. Yeah.
Thank you guys, that was great. So now we're gonna go over some Q&A. Can you go over the nostril breathing?
Yeah. So this is a tool that you guys can, I definitely recommend using it if you ever feel anxious, or if you're ever feeling like there's something in your day that's kind of caught you off guard, or if you're going into like a presentation or whatever it is. So basically you just take your thumb and you cover your right nostril, and then you inhale through your left nostril, and then you take you can use any other finger. I like to use my pinky and my ring finger, or these 3 fingers. And you cover up your left nostril, and then you exhale out your right nostril. And then you inhale through the right nostril. And then you cover up your left nostril, and you exhale out your left nostril. So, yeah, you can do that I like to do that for like 3 to 5 minutes. You can do that first thing in the morning too, or before going into a meditation. If you want to drop in a little bit deeper, it helps to drop you in for meditation as well.
Thank you. Rainbow asks, do you have any techniques for clearing ancestral trauma?
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot there.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of the work that we do, whether we always call it that or not. That's, I feel like, what we're all doing in a sense in showing up to these types of spaces and becoming more self-aware and learning how to, care for ourselves and unwinding any patterns that aren't serving us. All of that is breaking those patterns. The more that you rise into the most authentic version of yourself and you let go of, who you're supposed to be or who you were told you're supposed to be, and the patterns and the beliefs that are holding you back or weighing you down, that is stepping into a new paradigm, and you're shifting your bloodline and doing that. We definitely offer a lot of different tools for that, and perhaps that's something that we can kind of dive into more in that workshop, and kind of that's already a lot of what we do, but we can speak more to that for sure, because that's as I'm sure that's a big question.
Yeah.
Is anything coming through for you?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with what Elizabeth said, but I just want to reiterate, the work that you're doing, and the embodiment and healing journey that you go on is more, even though at times I know it can feel challenging, it's more than just for you, but it's for generations to come. And it's for, maybe your parents, your grandparents. You're literally shifting DNA when you are actually choosing forgiveness, choosing love, healing the wounds or trauma, like Elizabeth had mentioned. I know I think about that a lot. I have 3 kids. And so a lot of the work that I do, I always think I want to be able to do this and embody this, so that, of course, they're going to have their own stories and their own journey, but it won't be as much as what I'm having to do now. So I think that's a part of it. It's an encouraging process. So then it's okay, I know this moment feels hard, but I'm doing this more than just for me. It's a collective energy that we're all doing this together.
Thank you. Hun asks, what is the background music you use?
Yeah, so we just played, we can send that playlist to you guys if you want. Actually, I think I could just share the link. I'll share the link in the chat.
The Spotify playlist Elizabeth created for today.
Yeah, here, I'm just gonna copy the link and I'm just gonna share it in the chat. Oops. There you go.
Yay.
And we're just waiting for more questions. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put down in the Q&A.
Another thing I wanted to share about the healing ancestral trauma is honestly, the biggest thing that I feel we can do is feel our feelings when they come up, because when we feel through suppressed, we've all been taught to suppress emotion. So when we feel through emotion, we're liberating those pieces of ourselves and of our ancestors through literally letting it come up and out. And that can be a challenging and sometimes scary process. And that's where I think support can be really helpful. Because we were never meant to do this alone, but I just wanted to add that because I think that that's one of the biggest ailments in our culture is the suppression of emotion. And it's what our, generations before us were really conditioned to do. So I just wanted to add that.
We have a question from Maya. She asks, how to get rid of demon attacks of strangers / karmics. I'm having intense illusions / visions. And additionally to that, I am clairvoyant. It's hard to get rid of it. It comes in waves.
Yeah. I mean, initially, the first thing that comes to mind for me is doing some energy clearing for yourself. So even some of the movement, like Elizabeth did, with the swinging of the arms, the breath, the outward voice, I feel like that's like a recalibration to your system. I utilize either sage, rosemary, Palo Santo, sometimes all three of them regularly. I also like to use water. So I sit in the shower or I take a bath. And that's a big one. And then I also do cord cutting. So visualizing maybe some energies that are, have attached itself to you. And that could be simple from just going to the grocery store. I mean, energies or going on social media. It's not like it's all really dark, but just clearing your energy daily is super important. And then, as you're doing that, if you're visualizing where the karmic energy is coming from, sending that energy back to wherever it's coming from with love, and then receiving your energy back with love, so that there's not that connection with the karmic energy or wherever the dark forces are coming from. That's kind of what comes to mind for me as far as like the energy clearing process.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. I think that this is something that we all could get better with. Like energetic hygiene is really important, and obviously, as you mentioned, you feel really sensitive to that. So, I think another really important thing is to be really rooted in your own energy. So having like a strong morning ritual that really roots you, so that the second that something comes in that feels invasive and that isn't you sense that, and you can just literally like be like, okay, I'm not taking that on. It's definitely a practice, but I think like, the more that you do it every single day and take back your own energy, the more that it becomes really clear when something is coming in that isn't you, and that you can either do any of the things that Danielle mentioned, and just kind of being on top of that, really, because like she said, we can pick up energies wherever we go. And you can also put like a shield of light around you, like literally put a shield of light and speak to whatever you connect to, whether that's guides or ancestors or unconditional love or God, source, like literally whatever you resonate with, and ask for protection every single day and put that over your energy, and just say, like, declare anything that is not in my highest and best interest, anything that is not of love, anything that is not of the highest space of light is not welcome into my field, and just speak that over yourself with conviction every single day. And the more that you do that, the more you'll believe that, and the more that protection will feel really, you'll feel that.
Yeah, that's great. Christine asks, where are you located / what city?
What city? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where are you located and in what city?
We are in Austin, Texas. We have a storefront downtown Austin. We sell organic CBD products and ritual items, and then we have the back space that we do events and meditation. We have a feminine circle that we do. We have pleasure parties. We have cycles, all the things, networking events. So yeah, so that's where we're at, Austin, Texas, anyway.
Nice. Melissa asks, how do I hold on to my higher self?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes. Honestly, I feel like it's similar to what we've been talking about, some of those daily practices, until it really is so rooted in how you do your daily life. And so for me, what I do in the morning before my kids wake up is I connect with her. I visualize her. I even visualize what she's wearing, because sometimes I always see her in the same thing. She's always wearing this really beautiful black dress, and she's wearing red lipstick, and she's a vibe, So I tap into her every day, and I ask for messages, and I feel that energy at the beginning of the day. And the same thing with what Elizabeth was saying about surrounding yourself in light that only love can enter and only love can exit, and then living from that space. And it could be helpful to put a notification on your phone, don't forget to connect with her, or a little quote or something that reminds you of this meditation, of what you have capacity, or not capacity, but what you're capable of, what you're able to tap into, whatever reminds you of that higher version, keeping that at the forefront of your mind and heart all day. And then it'll just become so resonant within you that it'll just be flowing freely.
Yeah, I love that. I need to notify myself about that too.
Yes.
Christine asks, is there a way to soften and unwind the physical tension stored in the feminine side of my body? I'm female and postmenopausal, but I'm so tense on this side of my body more. Why?
That's such a good question. I feel like there's a lot there that I would love to go into. Breath, I think, is huge. I also think giving yourself permission, giving the feminine aspect of who you are permission to be seen, that you can take up space, that you're safe, reminding those parts of your body, and even just through touch, you're safe. I love who you are. I can attest, growing up, I didn't look at the feminine as being strong, and I have really had to create a practice around healing that part of who I am, really the last probably 5 years. And a big part is permission and forgiveness, apologizing to your body for not utilizing the feminine aspects of who you are and celebrating them. But I look at it as all just coming back to yourself, coming home to yourself, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, giving permission, and safety. Those are kind of the couple things.
Yeah, definitely. And as I'm sure any sort of physical tension or pain that we're feeling it's unprocessed emotion. So if we don't feel emotions, then they get stored as tension or imbalances in the body. And so just, I would invite you to maybe journal about or sit with if there is any pain or stuck emotional energy surrounding the feminine, or surrounding your mother, or surrounding any aspect of the feminine that hasn't been felt through, and just asking yourself that, even writing in your journal with the intention to connect to your own wisdom of what am I storing around the feminine, and what wants to be felt, what needs space held for, what can I hold space for myself, and just giving yourself, because that tension is trying to tell you something, hey, I need your attention, can you give me some space to be felt? And I find that when we give ourselves that space, then that's when a lot of that starts to unwind. So yeah.
Love that. And we have one last question from Margie. She asks, are you familiar with or trained to lead hyaluronic takes you to a state of hyperventilation breathing techniques?
I am not trained in that.
No.
I've heard of it, but I'm not super familiar.
Yeah, I've practiced that before with myself, but it's not something that I don't lead. Those are typically, I feel like, the breathwork journeys that you think of when you think of like a breathwork journey, and neither of us do that, but it's really powerful.
But thank you guys for joining us today, and thank you so much to Danielle and Elizabeth for their time and for sharing this relaxing demo with us. I will include all of their links in the chat so everyone can keep up with them. And before we go, I like to share a few slides. So there's a new organizer app that has been developed that provides organizers with all the tools they need to painlessly schedule events and manage their groups while on the go. If you'd like to participate in our beta, pull out your phone and scan the QR code. The top code is for iOS and the bottom code is for Android. I'll give you some time to do that. Also, we launched our podcast, Keep Connected, with Meetup CEO last year. Scan the QR code to give it a listen. And as a reminder, you can view a recap of this event in a few days on our Community Matters blog at meetup.com/blog. Thank you, guys.
Bye, thank you.